Hello, everybody. Before we get into this, there is a content. Here's a content warning for the Maxx. It revolves around very adult-related things. So, if you got problems with that, maybe this isn't the episode for you. Not safe for work stuff. So, with that being said, it's maxing time.
Lazor Comb.
We are not going to panic.
What the heck even happened to you, man?
Vengeance.
Shrimp Daddy! Ha 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 ha!
Give him a hockey stick!
What am I, fucking magician, man?
Am I some kind of fucking magician, man?
Fucking nerd.
Big nerd. Whatever. It's not like we're professionals anyway.
And I'm not sorry anymore.
Time to big brain.
Every day, yes.
What is the airwolf of trains?
Greetings, Maximals! Welcome to episode 116 of the Lazor Comb podcast, the show where we comb through random episodes of classic TV with a fine-tooth laser. I am, as always, the Sax, one of your hosts.
And as always, I'm your other host, the Cax. And today we're reviewing The Maxx.
He's the Cax Man! Skip-a-dip-a-dip-a-dip-a-dip-bum. Dip-a-dip-bum.
The Cax Man. Maybe there was a content warning before all of this, but we're on a certain block of TV shows, and there's always violence in some of them. Like, it's different when Batman beats a bagoon than it is for a giant purple naked monster to be monologuing about the avoidance of self-blame when it comes to sexual assault.
Right. So,
well, that's the episode. No.
Yeah, so we're on a programming block right now that are also Patreon picks. These are the programming block is cartoons based on Image Comics from the 1990s. Last week we did Wildcats, and this week we're doing The Maxx.
Most of us inhabit at least two worlds. The real world, where we're at the mercy of circumstance, and the world within, the unconscious, a safe place where we can escape. The Maxx shifts between these worlds against his will. Here, homeless, he lives in a box in an alley. The only one who really cares for him is Julie Winters, a freelance social worker. But in Pangea, the other world, he rules the outback and is the protector of Julie, his jungle queen. There, he cares for her, but he always ends up back in the real world. And me? Old Mr. Gone? Only I can see that the secret which unites them could destroy them. I could be helpful. Screw it. I think I'll have some fun with them first.
The Maxx. Not a lot of Maxx stuff out there, gotta say. A little bit harder to find this. My experience with The Maxx is catching it here and there, like late night on Teletoon, I think, up in Canada. Maybe MTV, but I didn't watch MTV much. And then later, as an adult, I found out there was like a comic run, and that it didn't take off. You search like the Maxx like wallpaper, for example, and only like the first 8 images are even relevant.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more obscure than, say, something like
Spawn.
Spawn, yeah.
Yeah.
And even finding the show to watch was a little bit difficult for me. I got there eventually, but it was
We got there.
It was definitely easier to track down Wildcats than it was the Maxx.
Who would have thought?
So the Maxx was a comic book published by Image Comics, created by Sam Keith, that ran from 1993 until 1998, when the comic ended with issue 35. And other than a couple of miniseries here and there, and like a crossover with Batman in like 2018, the Maxx has kind of disappeared as a character. He had his one and done run, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So what is the Maxx? The Maxx is... I watched this show a couple of times when I was a teenager in the late 90s. Didn't understand it at all. In fact, I still don't.
Acceptance is part of the program of learning what the Maxx is. Like is it part 2 or 1 is acceptance. And once you accept that you can never truly understand the Maxx, you're one step closer to the edge.
I read a lot of Image comics in the 90s. Well, comic books, period. But I was particularly into Image. I never read the Maxx. Never read a single frame of the comic. As I said, I caught the show periodically back then. But I was prompted.
I would see it in? I would see, like, in comics, there are ads for other comics in the same publishing sphere.
Yeah.
And I would see ads for it. Like every now and then I'd be like, oh, wow, that looks like really cool.
Yeah, I only knew about it. I knew about the Maxx from obviously seeing the show and reading about it in Wizard magazine.
Yeah, I've got so many Wizard magazines. Did I throw those away or did I keep them?
There's actually...
I think I got rid of...
There's actually a pretty neat podcast called... I can't remember what it's called. I'm not going to give them free publicity, goddammit. But it's a podcast where basically they review old issues of Wizard magazine, like one at a time. It's kind of cool to hear them talk about.
That sounds cool.
Hear them talk about like 90s comics from the perspective of like when it was happening. You know?
Hell yeah.
So the Maxx is a character. So I did a little bit of research on what the comic is actually about. So
you've just taken one step backwards. The more research you do about the Maxx, the less you learn about the Maxx.
So in the comic, Julie, who's a character in the show as well, was a victim of, and here we go, content warning, sexual assault, and she, while driving one day, accidentally, so she was a victim of sexual assault, and what she did was she kind of receded to process her trauma. She receded into her subconscious, which is known as the Outback. We see it in this episode of the show. It's the big, like, desert, like, landscape. They refer to it as Pangea. In the episode of the show. In the comics, from what I can tell, it's
in her mind it's the Outback.
It's the Outback when everyone goes to this like subconscious dream world.
But in the episode we're about to cover, the Maxx calls it Australia, which is funny. And the Mr. Gone
calls it Pangea. Yeah,
calls it Pangea.
Yeah. If Wikipedia is to be believed, though, in the comics, it's known as the Outback.
Oh, okay.
So she creates this world, the Outback, in her mind as a means of dealing with trauma. Now, somehow it kind of becomes this like mystical, like interdimensional place that, while not everyone is part of the same Outback, everyone has like their own Outback. You can cross over into other people's Outbacks as well.
Okay.
So she hit a homeless man named Dave, and what she ended up covering him up with covering up his body with garbage and fleeing the scene. And one of the items that she covered up was a lampshade of hers that had made connections with her Outback somehow. And so because this mystical lampshade enveloped itself over this homeless person that she ran over, Dave, and he became the Maxx. So the two of them now have a somewhat of a telepathic link because of this like lampshade of hers that she covered his body with that was linked to her outback somehow.
I like my fan theory more.
The Maxx has sworn to be a protector of sorts to her because
As one does when they kill you.
as one does when they kill you, because she has attracted the attention of Mr. Gone, who is as described on the Wikipedia article, a serial rapist.
Oh, when it comes to that, he just eats it up like cereal. Oh, I never thought it. What a fucking terrible joke. That did not bring. That did not lighten the. Yeah. So as a kid, I'm like, so they should just kill this guy, right?
Yeah.
But there's a complex.
Somehow,
I don't know about the real life. Go ahead.
Somehow, Mr. Gone also has a telepathic link with Julie, along with the Maxx.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Maxx is trying to protect her from him. You find out later on in the comic, apparently, that he actually was like a friend of her dad's and like knew her when she was a little girl, and there's implications of things he may have done. There's a whole lot of sexual assault.
There's a lot of
in
real
this story.
shit there mixed in with delusional. There's real shit in there with real bad people. And the intro of the TV show makes it seem like he's this wizard who knows both of their secrets, but he wants to have a little fun with them. Like in the intro, he's narrating it.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not about this like wizard who's like wants to have a little bit of fun before telling like them the truth and like changing like their reality.
Yeah, there's a lot of like real world shit that this story gets into that I honestly don't have a huge desire to even try to really unpack.
Yeah, we've mentioned it, and that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
Julie is a young blonde chick. She's
working as a social worker.
Yeah, she's what's it called? A freelance social worker, and I'm like, what the fuck is a freelance social worker? I don't think that's a thing.
Well, and indeed, later on in the episode, when we actually like get to hear her talk for a little bit, she sounds like she would be the worst fucking social worker in history.
So the Maxx is narrating his thoughts or over the scene in real time, unpacking her shitty attitude. He's actually quite insightful, despite the portrayal that he's like quite barbaric and dumb.
Yeah.
Saying that she's blaming everybody else, and by being a social worker she can control others because she can't control her own life. Like there's some deep insight that so these episodes fit in a 15-minute block. They're probably aired like back to back.
So without commercials, the episodes are around 11 and a half minutes.
Yeah. Boy, they make use of multimedia. It's a painting one moment from like the comics. It's watercolors the next. It's like a type of animation or like Flash. Who knows? Probably not Flash at this. I don't think so. But it works, and it'll show like windows and windows like a comic book does. And I've visually, hot damn, man! It was visually very impressive. There's a gritty, ugly realism to each character that is also beautiful. Like the Maxx is obviously not realistic, this giant weird like thing. And Julie, even though she's supposed to be like young and kind of like hot or like beautiful or whatever, there's still an ugly realness drawn to the like a level of detail in the art style.
I like her. I like her design. She has like
Yeah.
she's drawn to be like pretty, but there's also kind of a frumpiness to her too.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
trying to say there, right? Like a little bit of like a tum. She's like her face is kind of round. She doesn't have like a chin. She's right. She's just like wears like fishnets underneath like the jeans, the
Hmm.
ragged like jeans. They sit like low on her hips, and there's a just like Mr. Gone, how he's kind of got like the 40-year-old dad bod. Like you
Yeah.
can see he's like got lanky, like kind of like sinewy strength in his arms, but he's got like a gut, and he's like hairy, and the like scenes of it shaving, his hair is just spiky and like everywhere. There's an art
So
style
so
here
what you're
that's
saying is he
appealing.
looks like me.
So did he have hair? I think you have hair and he doesn't though.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
he
Yeah.
had a big like it was going ungracefully on him. One thing I'll say about the show is the Max is aware that he has these visions or these delusions that pull him from one reality to the other. When he's being pulled to the outback, he quickly starts to forget about reality.
Yeah.
There, he's in control of his life. There, he is a hunter and a protector. I can't remember what and the little weird creature thingies are white in the outback, and the weird little creature thingies are black in like the modern world.
Yeah. I believe they're called Izzes.
Is in both realities.
Yeah.
And
They're
in
they're they're minions of Mr. Gone.
and in the real world, other people see them as just like people.
Hmm.
But the Max sees them for what they actually are, which are these like little evil like minions that have no soul and they deserve to be like crushed. Um,
So
yeah,
the episode opens up with some kind of glitch in the system going on because the Max is switching back and forth uncontrollably between the real world and the Outback.
and then once it fully switches over to the outback, he tries his best to try and remember the the modern world that he's in, but
Yeah.
then very quickly it starts to go, oh, why am I chasing this thing? Oh, what was I thinking about? I was trying to hold on to something and remember something. Oh, whatever, it's probably not important. And so when he flips over like that, he rapidly forgets. And there's even insinuation that this is the real world and that other place is some sort of like hell or delusion. The real world is hell or delusion or visions or something.
Yeah, based on the way the Max was talking about the real world, I was getting the impression that to him that's the fake world, and that his Outback that's the real world. Which I
And
mean,
see, my theory before you explained it to me at the beginning was that he is from this area, right?
yeah,
And Julie is from the real world, and she can go to his world and her delusions,
hmm,
escapism, where she's like the leopard queen, the
the Leopard Queen, yeah,
or something like that, and she's powerful and she has like this like protector there, um, and they're both like powerful in this world, that and somehow he managed to come over into the real world, but which is like fake for him. But then you explained to me that he's actually just a homeless dude that got like transformed or
yeah.
something, and I'm like, oh, that's less exciting. But who am I to judge? Uh,
Yeah, he is aware of he's aware of the Outback, and he's conscious of the fact that he switches between the real world and the Outback, whereas Julie
yeah,
is not.
right. And he seems to understand when he was in the real world, giving that like monologue, that he seems to think that she blames herself for her assault and that the real world is kind of like her punishment or purgatory. And I can't remember how Mr. Gone fits into all of this. He is aware of both of them. And he says something in this because he confronts him at one point when he's switching back. Do you remember when he's like in the room and he's like, why do I know what a gasket is and what pipes are? As he's
Ye-
kind of,
Yeah, he stops switching back and forth, and for a while he's in the outback, but then he wakes up again and he's not running in the streets anymore. He's in a bathroom. And
Mr. Gon confronts
he's like, yeah, because
him.
he's like, wait, how do I know what a bathroom is? I'm a warrior I'm a warrior of
How do I know what
Pangea.
leaky pipes are? Why do I know what a valve and a gasket and what pipes even are?
Yeah. Um,
And then Mr. Gon like pops around the corner just wearing like, I don't know, like a like a towel around him. He's half naked like all the time. And like shirtless. And he's like, do you like the mask? I use
prob
it to scare the locals into doing my bidding, or I can't remember, something like that.
he's probably half naked all the time just to really like
Make the
to
viewer uncomfortable and
yeah.
view the yeah. And they fight, and he's like, wait, you need to listen to me, Max. Max. And he's like, no, I'm good and you're evil. And he's like, the truth of the matter is that I'm well aware of both of your predicaments. And the truth for you is humiliating at worst, but the truth for her is life altering. And I'm like,
What
what the what?
what the fuck are you talking about?
And indeed, Max is like, what the fuck are you talking about? And lets him up. And he's like, Max, I'm aware of both worlds. And kind of like puts his hands on his shoulders. And I'm just like,
Yeah, correct
what?
me if I'm wrong, but Mr. Gon tells Max about how Julie isn't aware of the other world, but she's receding too far into it, that it's becoming dangerous for her.
Yes. She can't remember it, but that her subconscious is like, it's becoming dangerous for everyone or for the Max. Um, if she
And it's
if she gives up on reality, I
and it's
guess.
probably because of the Max's link to her.
Yeah. Again, 11 minutes.
A lot
there's
going
a
on.
there's a lot going on here, and it cuts to a scene where um I just forgot her name.
The Max and Julie are
Julie.
sitting
They're
talking.
sitting on like a rooftop or like a ledge or something. It's unimportant. It's very artistic in style, and he's like delicately with his like gigantic like Marvel Hulk hands,
Clipping
um,
her toenails.
clipping her toenails,
Weird scene.
and she's sitting there like complaining about, I don't know, like posers, or it's teenager shit. Like
She's
what I got, she's being edgy and
she's complaining about like like her being a social worker. She always hears people complaining about their lives and basically being like, "Oh, boo hoo, I was beaten. Oh, boo hoo, I was raped. Get over it."
which is projection, like, or not projection, which is like putting up a wall, like
Deflection.
deflection. Yeah, she's trying to
Well,
tell herself it isn't such a big deal, and she's like, knock it off with that whiny libtard bullshit. I mean, she said liberal, not not libtard, but I was like,
yeah,
oh, teenagers,
she said something along the lines of cut the I don't think she's a teenager.
young adult.
Um yeah, she
Or
says
maybe
something.
she's from the town where you're currently living and she's 35. Impossible to tell. Uh,
Yeah, they're people here in their 30s have a tendency to act like fucking 16-year-olds. But that's a story for another
Join the
time.
Patreon to get behind the scenes talks
Yeah,
about.
the Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show at patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Yeah, so he tries to offer up some. You mentioned he was actually quite insightful here. He tries to offer up some advice and say, like maybe don't victim blame when it comes to stuff like this.
Oh yeah, and this is like 1990
95.
95. I'm like, holy shit! Look how woke this giant purple guy is.
Oh, yeah, that
But yeah,
reminds
he's
me.
got a point.
That reminds me. This is the 4th episode of the
Oh,
Maxx.
we're covering episode 4, right? Right.
Yeah,
Not the whole thing.
yeah.
Jesus. And he's like, hey, like, oh, because Julie was like, you're only in control of your own life, so quit bitching and like take some responsibility for once. And he said, well, those events, they're events that can happen to people that are outside of their control that can change their life. And there's just nothing they could do about it. Whether somebody was assaulted or hit by a car, and he gives like examples using more explicit like language or whatever, like,
And she responds with, "Cut the liberal feminist bullshit." And I'm like, huh.
flip that around, huh?
Yeah.
Homeless 800-pound crime fighting homeless purple dude, quit the liberal feminist bullshit for not wanting to blame the victim. And by the way, the show is self like aware. Like, she's supposed to be a very stupid deflecting like young adult. And the Maxx is so wise that he's aware that she's like putting up walls and separating herself from the weak people she's talking about and herself, who owns everything wrong with her life. She doesn't make excuses. She knows her life is shitty. He doesn't think that's a way of like moving past it, nor is it like healthy to blame the victim. Pretty interesting dialogue for a superhero cartoon in the mid 90s.
Yes. Yes, a superhero cartoon that aired on April 17th of 1995. Yeah, and the episode kind of just ends there. And we get a, like, next time on The Mask preview.
On the Mask.
Oh, on The Mask.
Somebody stop me.
Next time on The Max.
Smoking. Oh, and when it said next time on the Maxx,
I wouldn't be surprised if those two crossed over at some point. I don't think they did, but it wouldn't surprise me.
And the Mask is adult as well. It's about sexual insecurity and like.
Well, there was a Mask animated series in the 90s. I don't know if you ever watched it. I used to watch it here and there. But the comic it's based on is very R-rated.
That's what I was, and even the movie, like he becomes like who you want to be, right? Like the sexual bon vivant or whatever. So I could see the Mask. I never read any of the comics, but there was a cartoon.
Yeah, it was on around 96 or so. It wasn't bad.
Isn't it weird how something can be very much for adults? It becomes a movie and it's kind of like family-ish, like rated, despite some of the violence implied in The Mask. And then it's like a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't there an Ace Ventura cartoon? Or am I insane? I've been from Earth 2 lately, folks, and I've been like forgetting or making things up.
I'm pretty sure there was, yeah.
Ace Ventura is not for... I would argue it's not for kids. You see that first movie? Come on.
Oh. The twist in that movie has aged like milk.
There was a cartoon. Holy shit, man. Did you know that?
I'm pretty sure.
I watched it a bit, right? He had a monkey friend.
Bumblebee tuna. Right. Bumblebee tuna.
All right. Yeah.
Bumblebee tuna.
That's what that's from.
I
always forget. You remind me every couple years.
I like that second Ace Ventura movie more than the first one.
Same. Probably ages better too. I don't care what people say. Him crawling out of the back of that animatronic spy rhinoceros, comedy gold. 10 out of 10.
They like curl his hair into horns, and he's like,
You guys are taking this whole White Devil thing just a little too literally, aren't you?
Fine. You want shikaka? You get shikaka. Shikaka.
My favorite piece of trivia about the first Ace Ventura movie, though, is the concert that he goes to. The band that's up there is Cannibal Corpse. Now, Jim Carrey's a big death metal fan, like IRL, like actually.
I did not know.
And he encouraged the producers to reach out to Cannibal Corpse to get them in this scene because he wanted to meet them.
That's how you know you've made it, folks.
They were his favorite band. So, and he really wanted to meet them. So in the script, when it said that he crashes a concert, he asked the producers to make the band Cannibal Corpse, to bring them onto the set.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And there's The Mask. And there's your connection between Cannibal Corpse and the Maxx. We got there. He's 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. 7 degrees.
7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
But yeah, what do we? Oh man, I think we covered Indie next time. It showed like a brunette with like a goth brunette with like glasses. I remember that character.
I am going to tip my hat a little bit here and say I did not watch the Next Time on the Maxx thing. And there's a reason why I didn't bother watching the teaser for the next episode. Now, with that in mind, Cal, you just caught a random episode of the Maxx. Would you tune in next time?
You know what? I would. There's only 13 of these. I kind of want to see what the fuck is going on and get some answers. So,
all right.
Yeah, I would. And how about yourself? You just watched a very random episode of the Maxx. Would you tune in next time?
No. That is why I didn't bother even watching the teaser for the next episode, because I'm like, I'm never gonna watch this.
It's a little heavy. I want to find out what the fuck it's about.
I like the animation and I like the character designs. That's
really interesting, like shape, line work. Really, it's interesting when you see an artist that knows anatomy, but then takes creative like liberties to embellish the uglities, the imperfections of the human form. Mm-hmm. Even when you're trying to draw something like attractive, like you said, like Julie's like attractive butt and frumpy. Like at the
I liked the animation. I thought the voice acting in the show was really good. I liked that. I liked the Max's voiceover narration, but
too real
and also too odd.
It's a little odd.
Yeah, it's a little too odd for me. I can't really wrap my head around the plot. Like
it's very ephemeral and fleeting, and it's like 1 minute the Maxx is talking to Mr. Gone, and you're like, hey, this guy's a serial bad bad man. And the next like minute he's hanging out with Julie. And so it's like, what is actually going on? Is there a plot? Who's real? Are they all real? Is there an ending or like a catharsis, or like what's going on with the themes here?
I feel like now I can't confirm this, but I feel like the creator of this, Sam Keith, I think his name was, I feel like he may have been doing some acid when he came up with this show, or came up with the comic.
No. There was something there.
There was something involved.
There's something.
The structure is weird. Like the plot is but the themes are a little too heavy for something that I want out of a story like this.
Right.
Everything is the logic of everything is very wishy-washy.
It's whimsical and
Whimsical.
fleeting.
There we go. Yeah.
It's whimsical and fleeting. And there are times I can like that and I can get behind it, but there are other times where I'm like, man, is there anything? I would like to know that there's a base reality that I can like come back to so I can know what's going on, right?
Most of the time I want worlds that make sense in my fiction.
So this is what it's like when worlds collide. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
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 This is what it's like when worlds collide, man.
That was episode 116 of Lazor Comb Podcast. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/lazorcomb, LAZORCOMB. $5 tier, you get a bonus weekly Patreon exclusive podcast, the Super Lazor Comb Patreon Super Show. $10 tier, you get that, you get the occasional commentary track, and you can pick a show for us to review a random episode of on this very podcast. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lazorcomb. If you're watching the video version on YouTube, do me a favor, like the video, share, subscribe, all of that jazz. I've never actually
we've never actually we self-advertise every time, but don't ask for the like.
Yeah.
God damn it, give it the like.
Yeah, that was something that occurred to me recently. I'm like, we never really plug the YouTube channel very much. So yeah, if you're watching the video version, give a like and subscribe.
Who is it that often tries to comment on like a lot of stuff? Is it Cone Killer?
Yeah, he comments on the YouTube videos a lot.
Yeah, like you're out there by yourself doing the Lord's work, is what we're saying. So go and join Cone Killer Confusor and the
guy who a few years ago told me I had a bullshit haircut.
You'll never let that go. To this day, I'm going to put that on your gravestone. Died the way he lived. With the bullshit haircut.
He died as he lived with a bullshit haircut. Also, the guy who was real mad about our Ed and Eddie review.
Hey man, some people like trains. Some people like Magic the Gathering. Some people like Ed and Eddie.
Speaking of trains, I found my my trains basically. Look up something called Bagger 293. I'm not gonna talk about it, but a couple of weeks ago I discovered this thing, and I was so fascinated by it. I watched so many. I spent an entire morning reading about it and watching YouTube videos about it. The thing
was this thing a Transformer? I feel like this was in a Bay movie.
If not, it should be.
If not, it should be.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It does like the job of like 5 other giant machines.
The thing is massive. Folks, Google Bagger 293. Join the Discord if you want to interact with us. Link in the description as always, or you can follow us on Blue Sky or TikTok. We'll be back next week with the next show in this programming block, 1995's Savage Dragon cartoon, based on the Eric Larson comic book.
Oh shit, we did it. We made it to Savage Dragon.
We made it to imagine.
Don't do it. Don't say it.
Imagine Savage Dargans.
Fuck. Imagine, if you will, Savage Dargans.
Imagine.
I've never watched Savage Dragon. Well, hang on. Let me Google it, because I say that a lot, and then I'm like, oh, wait a second.
The thing that is kind of jarring, because I did actually watch the Savage Dragon cartoon periodically, the thing that's kind of jarring about it is he is voiced by Jim Cummings. And
really? It doesn't do it for you?
All I hear is Jim Cummings. Like I'm listening to Pete from Goof Troop or Darkwing Duck or
Eat from. I love that that's the first thing you go to.
or the cop
Oh
from
yeah, Darkwing Duck. Yeah.
the cop from Bonkers, like the human cop from Bonkers, was also
Oh wow,
Jim Cummings.
that's a yeah. Oh, what else?
Bonkers, underrated cartoon. We should do a Disney afternoon
Why
programming
does it
block
sound
sometime.
familiar? What the fuck is Bonkers? What are you talking about?
Bonkers D. Bobcat. He was a police cat.
I watched that.
The show was
I
fun.
don't-
It's underrated,
Oh.
I think.
Well, I just had some. Oh, Jim Cummings was the voice for
Yeah.
well, some people they it, for me it's worse for actors or celebrities who then do voice acting and they only get the voice acting parts because they're celebrities or actors already.
Yeah. See the entire cast of Transformers 1.
Or oh, what's like an example? The Mario like movie.
Shrek.
It's like
Shrek, I think, was the movie that
Wow.
kind of started that.
fair, and it works for me because here's the thing. Canadian actor, can't remember his name.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. Not Michael Myers. Of Halloween fame. At least he does a fucking voice. He goes all in with his like character, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Seth Rogen is just Seth Rogen and like fucking everything. I will say he's good as Alan the alien in Invincible.
Speaking of Seth Rogen, there's a show on Apple TV Plus called The Studio. You should check it out.
Really?
You should check it out. Yeah, Seth Rogen plays a guy who who ends up becoming the new studio head of a like a Hollywood studio. He's given the job by his boss, who's played by Bryan Cranston, and it also has
Bryan Cranston. Okay.
it also has what's her name, Catherine O'Hara from Beetlejuice and Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a main character in the show too. But so basically, he gets put in charge of the studio, which is a job that he's wanted like his entire life, and it's predicated on one thing: he has to make a Kool-Aid movie.
Okay.
So the show is about him like trying to figure out him as someone who actually like appreciates like auteur like filmmaking, trying to make this big like stupid $250 million Kool-Aid movie. Oh, and at one point he gets Martin Scorsese involved, and it's like a movie called Kool-Aid, but it's like actually about Jonestown. And like everyone like flips out about that because it's like, do you really want to associate the Kool-Aid brand with something like Jonestown? Like,
Yes.
you fucking serious? Anyway, The Studio on Apple TV Plus. Check it out. I think it's only about 3 episodes in right now.
And my recommendation for the week is it's got a weird title. One second. I saw The TV Glow. It's a 2024 like it's
It's an
labeled
A24
for-
film, right?
Mhm.
Doesn't it have Bridget Lundy Payne in it from Bill and Ted Face the Music?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
That's one of the 5.8 on IMDb. Fuck off. IMDb, everything is like between 5 and 7 on there, unless it's like particularly bad or whatever. It's not a 5.8. It's one of my favorite movies I've seen like the last decade.
Bibbs and Whitney recently did a like best movies of the century so far, and it like top 25 movies of the century, and it was in their top 5s, I think.
Of the past hundo years or of the 21st century?
Of the 21st century.
Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So people of taste. I wouldn't call it a horror. It's marked as horror fantasy. if you're like, I can't do like most horror, not really. I wouldn't call it horror like at all, except maybe existential horror or body,
Yeah.
not body horror in the. I'm not going to say anything. Just you know what? The less you know about it, the
Dysmorphia
better.
horror.
Kind of. Yeah.
I know a fair bit about the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You had said.
I know about as
time.
much. I know about as, because I've heard so many people talk about it on podcasts. I know about as much of the movie as I possibly can without actually having seen it myself.
Right. And unfortunately, a lot of it was spoiled for me. That's how I found out about it. I was like, oh shit. And I stopped the review like partway through and I'm like, I'm just going to watch this.
You know why it has a 5.8 on IMDb?
Woke.
Transphobes.
Oh, that's the opposite of woke. Okay. It's either MAGA or woke. To blame for everything. Which one are you? How about both? Can you be woke and MAGA? Can you?
Woke and MAGA? Well, I mean, if woke just means, things that I don't like, then yeah. MAGA can be woke.
And there you go. This engine, things I don't like are woke.
Yeah. Anyone who spent any amount of time listening to us knows where we stand on all of that.
That's right. Strictly libertarian. I can't even really tell you what libertarian even is anymore. Something to do with no taxes and the meme of them always asking
no government.
No government. Lowering the age of consent. I don't know. What do they want?
Well, to figure out what episode of The Savage Dragon we're going to watch, I'm going to hit screen share. As always.
Oh, Lottie, we screen sharing.
And it lasted 26 episodes.
Ooh.
2 seasons. The theme song of the second season is actually pretty dope, from what I remember. Because the theme song was different in the first and second seasons.
Really?
And one random number between 1 and 26. And here we go!
15.
Season 2 episode. She-Fiend. The Fiend takes over She-Dragon's body. Hey, written by Bob Forward.
No.
Look at that.
No.
Yes.
Bob Forward. We meet again.
Oh, amazing. I love that.
For anyone listening, let's just say his name pops up quite a bit when it comes to the 90s was a wild place of freelance writers.
Yeah, for anyone not in the know, the episode of Wildcats that we reviewed last week was written by Bob Forward, and we did 151 episodes of a podcast called Too Much Energon that was about Beast Wars. The original Beast Wars cartoon was co-created by Bob Forward. And
Sure was.
And a lot of the episodes were written by him. He's one of the people who said no when I asked him for an interview some time ago.
Didn't ghost you, just said no.
Yeah, it was a very
cordial. Was it cordial at least? Or was it like, fuck you, peasant?
It was stern. It was a stern rejection.
Oh, geez.
But I'm not trying to disparage Bob Forward. It was just very much thanks, not interested kind of response.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a nice and very straightforward way to not have to explain yourself or move forward. Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll be back next week with that. And until next time, I have been the Sax, one of your hosts.
And I'm the Cax, your other host.
Thanks for listening. We'll Bob Forward you next week.
And don't forget to like and subscribe and Bob Forward this to your friends.